Support for Greater Chattanooga is provided by EPB Fiber Optics and Blood Assurance.
My name is Nick Lutzko, and I perform and write and produce music. I went to school for commercial songwriting just because I wrote songs and it had songwriting in the name of the degree. I thought it was something I would like. And I'd say the biggest thing I learned from college is how not to write songs. When I graduated college, I basically started from scratch and recorded my first record and hit the road by myself doing a solo acoustic performance in like 30 to 40 different cities. It was cool. I think I had like a conquer the world kind of mentality, but it wasn't super efficient as far as accumulating a fan base. So I wanted to like rework my game plan, and I started working on a new record, which was my last record, Etc. And the vibe on it was a lot different. It was more of a full band element with more progressive sounds. And I'd finished recording Etc. I knew I needed to recruit a new group of guys to really accomplish these songs in a live setting.
Nick is a phenomenal musician, and he challenges me every opportunity that we play music together.
I played with some really great musicians, but they were the first guys to really show up and it was very clear that they took it very seriously and had a real appreciation for the songs.
We have a good chemistry, a good collective togetherness.
They don't treat it like they're playing someone else's songs. Like when we're playing together, it becomes a unit. And I think that really comes across in the live show.
Mr. Blister's House of Beans!
In college, I had stayed up really late one night building my first puppet after I saw The Muppets, the reboot of the Muppets movie with Jason Segel. And I, over time, kind of made a hobby of making puppets, and I had all these puppets and nothing to do with them. And after I recorded Etc., my good friend Justin from Knoxville was wanting to do a music video, and I was like, let's put these puppets to use. In the video, the only human other than the TV show host is myself playing with a backing band of puppets, hand puppets. One of us had the idea of full, like, person-sized puppet costumes, and that's where the whole basis from these puppet costumes came from, is that we are going to recreate the same band that was playing in the Predator video. They all are a lot of work. Even the hand puppets are a lot of work, like multiple days usually. It's a testament that you got to kind of fire from all angles and try to stimulate them in every way you can, visually, musically, lyrically, and that's really my biggest goal, is just to make that connection with the audience. JJ's is incredible because the sheer energy from it. If you play any other venue in Chattanooga and get 100 people out, that's a good crowd, but kind of is disheartening to look out and see big empty spots and people having conversations. And whereas you get 100 people in JJ's and there's hardly room to walk, and everyone's engaged. It's a really great feeling looking out in the crowd and just seeing everyone on top of each other basically and having the time of their lives. Like, I've never played a show at JJ's where people weren't having an awesome time.
Live show is energy packed.
I think we're doing something different with the puppet costumes. It's a bit of a novelty for sure, but I think it's something that catches people's eyes, whereas typically they just keep walking. It's a hook to give them to pay attention, and then I think the songs are able to stand on their own.
Greasy Rick is, I guess it's my alter ego. He's a lot more wiry than I am, where I'm a bit more laid back and lax. He's high-strung.
People think I'm crazy 'cause I talk to myself.
My hope is that I can find the audience of people like me that love all kinds of music and can really just embrace a good song regardless of what the genre is. I like trying to take from this creative buffet and see what I can create that's new.
You say that I would rather think it than be thrown away. I don't feel like that, so
If each genre were an emotion, I'm playing every emotion known to a human through all these different songs.
I hope I can encourage people to take the road less traveled. And I think so many people love to play it safe and follow the formula. And you always kind of end up at the same place. I got to the point where I decided to treat it like a full-time job. And for the last 3-4 years, every penny I've made has gone back into sustaining this business, which is the music that I create. I've really plugged myself into the Chattanooga music scene over the past year more than I ever had before. And it's really mind-blowing how many great songwriters and musicians and performers there are. Chattanooga is a really awesome place to be a musician right now. And when I graduated college, I had plans to move to Nashville or New York, and I'm so glad that I didn't, because I think starting with your home base and really making sure that what you're doing can work with the people you grew up with and the city that, you know, your hometown, I think that's a really valuable thing, to have that home base and then work from there. This last year I've covered more ground than I have with anything in my whole life, and it's been really incredible.
If you're a fan of Greater Chattanooga, support it. Becoming a sustaining member of WTCI is easy and affordable, and it makes a big difference. Visit greaterchattanooga.org/donate. Thanks.